Well. Good evening. Welcome
Good
to
evening.
the. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the post-match review of Villarreal Arsenal. Very disappointing night for Arsenal. Sort of got out of jail near the end. I'm joined with Mr. Steve K again. Steve, that was a bit of a mad game. Mainly negative, I suppose. But a 2-1 away defeat isn't as bad as what it could have been. What are your overall thoughts on those 90 minutes?
Well, first, as far as the result goes, I would have taken that at the beginning. If someone said to me, "Do you want a 2-1, go back, win 1-0, you're through to a final," I would have taken it. You anything could have happened, 2-0, 3-0, but 2-1, I would have taken that. The way the game actually panned out. I wasn't happy with the way we played. I thought there was too many square pegs in round holes. Players playing out of position. Players not doing what they should be doing. It was a mishmash of and it wasn't until really until they scored their second goal that we actually really started playing. So I'm a bit disappointed the way we played, but pleased with the result.
Yeah, terrible start to concede a goal after first 10 minutes, then to concede another one. For me, what I found was strange, Steve. We spoke before the game about Pepe playing through the middle, but it seemed as though for the majority of the time it was Smith Rowe who was the furthest man forward. Now, for me, I can't get my head around that. I think that takes away everything that's good about Smith Rowe's game. Smith Rowe is the guy that connects the midfield to the attack, and you might as well not be there if he's going to be up front, as far as I'm concerned.
No.
What did you think of that? Seeing Smith Rowe so high up the pitch.
Well, the words Smith Rowe playing as a false nine pretty much tells you anything. It just doesn't go, and it's partly the reason why I said there was too many square pegs in round holes. Emil Smith Rowe playing as a false nine is a perfect example of that. I totally agree with you. I had no idea what he was there. I was thinking about the players that were on the bench, and I'm thinking, why isn't Martinelli playing in that position, or why isn't Aubameyang playing in that position? Why have we got one of our most exciting playmakers playing there when you've got those two on the bench? I couldn't get my head around it. He didn't play well. No, not didn't play well. I take back to the fact that he didn't play well. He just wasn't in his position where he could, like what you said, where you could get the best out of him. And he was like he was just anonymous through the whole game.
Yeah.
It was like there was no point in being there. It was a very strange. I mean, when we did the pre-match preview, and we looked at the side, we were sort of like squinting and thinking, I can't, it's very weird. The front three are that looks strange. We couldn't really get our heads around it. And when the game started, and the way we're talking now, we were spot on. We had it spot on because it just was weird.
Yeah, I think just to sum that up, Steve, about Smith Rowe, in the first half, I think he had 16 touches of the ball. I think the ball boy close to the subs bench had more touches than that. Yeah, right. So obviously conceded the 2 goals, and Ceballos gets himself sent off. Now he was on a yellow card, and I was on a few WhatsApp groups and mates chatting, and people were like, "Take him off! Like, don't risk it. He's a centre midfielder on a yellow card. I mean, I thought he was unlucky because I didn't think he meant it. I think it was an accident.
Yeah.
The step. How did you see it?
I thought it was a yellow card.
Yeah.
I just thought it was an accident. I think you could, if you've played the game, you can tell. Even though it looked bad, he didn't mean to do it, but it was clumsy. And if you do clumsy tackles, you can't do clumsy tackles because clumsy tackles can ruin players' careers. And that's why he had to have a yellow. And he had to go, in my opinion. I get exactly what you say, that I would have taken him off, because he is one of those players who buzzes around and puts his foot in, and he ain't a great tackler of a ball. So really, with Arteta there, I'm surprised that he didn't take him off and maybe bring Elneny on, or even push Saka into the midfield, take him off and put Saka back to left back. Because the midfield, I mean, the amount of times that they was running through the centre of the midfield, especially the first half, I was like, what's going on? I mean, I'm like, I played in my day as a winger, and I was looking at that and I think, God, I would have had a field day. I mean, it just you literally had the right back Foyth just walking through Ceballos and Partey as if they wasn't there, and he done it on 3 occasions. And I'm like, okay, you done it once, which actually led to the first goal, because I just let him run, and he ran, and he ran, and I'm thinking, are you going to stop him? And then he went out to the right, and then he turned inside Jack, crossed it, and goal. But the problem for you, that goal, was why was Foyth let run? I thought it was like that Thierry Henry goal he scored against Spurs. I thought he was going to go and take it all the way around the keeper and score for him, innit? Awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
I got to tell you, Steve, I think it's funny saying it. That Foyth seems as though he's done his hamstring in.
Yeah.
He had to go off. I think that's going to be a big miss for them in the second leg.
Yeah.
Because he's their legs at the back. I think he's going to be a really big miss. Point here about Ceballos being poor in the Europa League. He hasn't done well the whole season, but especially the Europa League, he seems to save his big mistakes for that competition. This was a comment from earlier from Melvin about, we had all these subs to bring on, and yet he kept him on when he was on a yellow. Like, I know you can't sub a player every time they want a yellow card, but you got to use your head a bit and think, if this happens over a 2-legged tie, we're going to be in a mess. So it's not as if he's Lionel Messi and you've got to keep him on the pitch because he might do something. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, we was 2-0 down at the time.
Yeah.
When he's had that first yellow card, which makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you wanted, when it was 2-0, I was thinking to myself, first thing I said was, right, it's 2-0, just keep it at that. Just stay at 2-0. Let's not go mad. But, in the end, we got the goal back. But it's like Melvin said, he had 5 subs on the bench. And I can't see an excuse of why he wasn't brought off. Yeah.
We've had a few decisions go against us this season, but I thought the penalty that we got for the foul on Saka, I thought that was a bit soft, wasn't it?
It was very soft.
But it's one of those like, we'll take that because we've been on the end of some bad decisions. I think this sums it up.
Yeah.
We got out of jail.
We got out of jail tonight. Yeah. If Valencia had a couple of more, top class players in their side, I think this tie would have been done or dusted.
Yeah.
As I say, the midfield was like, I don't know. It was like so the gaps in the midfield were incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you had what you actually had. You had Odegaard and Ceballos, and just leaving Partey in the middle there. And one thing Partey ain't really got, he ain't got legs. You know, he's not that quick. I mean, the quickness really should be coming from the other two geezers that should help him for the pace. And they was just walking through.
They look sharp, didn't they? They look sharp, Villarreal. All their players look sharp, but yeah, I agree with Kieran.
They've got to bring Xhaka back in the midfield because it's the midfield is better when he's in there, and because it was awful tonight, and thank God Ceballos won't be playing in the next game.
Yeah, that's right. And at the end of the game, we had that chance with Aubameyang, as Kieran said.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a chance that falls to your main man. I know he hit the target, but he's got to do better than that, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was a great ball from Partey. He great turn. You know, he done the hard part. It's a fantastic run from Aubameyang. Fantastic turn by Aubameyang. He just should have. Yeah, he's probably if he had played a couple of more games, or he may have came on about 30 minutes earlier, which I thought that he would. I think he probably would have put that away. I mean, it was quite quick on him. You know, he's probably wasn't warmed up yet. It was, and maybe if he was a little bit more switched on, he could have, as I said, as Kieran said, that he might have worked him a bit more.
Yeah, that's it. Final thoughts, really, Steve. Any player stood out for you tonight at all?
Player stood out. Pepe was man of the match tonight.
Yeah,
and I just and we've spoke before about Pepe, and they just keep playing him. Keep playing. I've already said he's a confidence player. If you keep playing him and keep playing him, he'll be unplayable. He'll be unplayable. Just keep on. Stop dropping him. Stop playing him. I'll be really annoyed if he's not playing against Newcastle on Saturday. Just keep playing this guy. Keep playing him because he's dangerous. He's a threat, and he was man of the match tonight for me. I thought Saka. We weren't too bad, and the rest of it, I think. I mean, this is the first time I'm going to say this. Is I think a lot of the way that it wasn't the players' fault tonight. I think the manager got it wrong.
Yeah, I think.
And I'm not really someone who really likes blaming managers, and you probably know yourself. I don't call out managers, but I did. I think he got it wrong tonight.
Yeah. I think he's going to be getting some absolute pelters online over the next few days over some of his decisions. I mean, he's obviously a very clever, knowledgeable guy, but I mean, some basic decisions for me, he's getting horribly, spectacularly wrong. But anyway, I guess we could talk about this game for ages. But
but I think at the end, just to end on, I mean that ain't a bad result tonight. I mean, we win 1-0 at the Emirates, we're through to the final. So I know we've said a lot of negative things tonight, but hopefully we can just put this one to bed, get the team right, set up right in the next leg, because next week, wow. I mean, if this was massive tonight and the nerves were bad tonight, God knows what they're going to be like next week, because that's the biggest game for Arsenal probably in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
it's because of the way the club's being run at the moment and the way things are.
Yeah,
absolutely enormous.
It's going to be massive. All right, so we'll wrap up. Just a couple of comments before we wrap up. Marley saying hopefully Tierney will be back. That would be great. As Kieran points out, he has been out for a while. So how fit is he going to be? So yeah,
how much better he's going to be than Xhaka?
Yeah,
I agree. Milvin's made a good point there. We need a settled lineup, and it's a good point that I made where I think you've got to play your Xhaka, you've got to play your Partey, you've got to play your Pepe, you've got to stop messing about. You can't stop messing about. If you look at the
trying
other
to be
top
too
teams,
clever.
if you have a look at the top teams, right, they just tweak it slightly.
Yeah.
In any type of football, you want to see the same players around, but you want to see the same defender next year. You want to see the same players in front of her. You want to get, I know you get to know each other on the training pitch, but it's totally different on a match day. And so you want to build something up. And at the moment, they're just chopping and changing. And then, we need to keep settled side. That's very important. And I want to see, close to the team that we're going to play in the second leg against Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this sums it up from Kieran. Massive game. And everything will be crossed for the win.
Enormous.
That's it. Steve, thank you very much
You're
for your thoughts as always, and everyone, thanks for joining us. We'll be back 8:00 Sunday night, as per usual, transfer exchange show with obviously Kieran and Nathan Ellington. So join us then. Thanks for tonight, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye everyone. Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, Jerome. Bye everybody.